Hi guys, welcome back to yet another video. So in today's video, we'll be talking in detail about the parts of speech for the SAT examination. So let's get started with the video. Right. So we all know the importance of parts of speech, right? So in our SAT examination, we can expect only 16 questions, right? So and the general English section can be divided into grammar and vocabulary. So in the part of grammar, one of the major area you can expect questions is from the parts of speech. So we need to understand the basic idea. We need to have the basic idea of what is parts of speech and how does it work, right? So uh, I think we can say that the parts of speech consists the foundation of the English grammar, right? So basically, it categorizes words into specific roles based on the function, right? So we need to understand what kind of function does a parts of speech does in a given sentence, right? So even from apart from an academic sense of view, we need to understand if we have a basic understanding of a parts of speech, which that will definitely help us in our writing and also in our day-to-day communication, right? So if we have a basic understanding of parts of speech, that will help us to construct a clear and an effective sentence, right? So let's look at the parts of speech. We all know that the basic one is noun. So what is a noun? So noun is something that represents a person, a word that represents a person, place, thing, or an idea, right? So it can be a subject or an object in a given sentence, right? So noun is something we usually say noun as naming word, right? So noun is something that represents a person, place, thing, or an idea, right? So keep that in mind. And also, we can also categorize nouns into common nouns and proper noun, right? So basically understand what is noun, right? And moving on to next one, which is pronoun. So what is a pronoun? Pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun, right? Which means we replace a word, right? Something that we use instead of a noun in a given sentence so that we can reduce the repetition, right? So pronouns includes personal pronouns like I, you, he, she, it, we, they, etc. And we have another classification called demonstrative pronoun, which includes words like this, that, these, those, etc. And finally, we have another classification which is called indefinite pronouns, like words like someone and anybody, etc. So the basic thing is that keep in mind pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun, right? Something that we use instead of a noun. So moving on to the next one, which is verb, right? Like noun, verb is also another major area. So what is the verb, right? So basically we can, in simple words, we can give the definition of a verb like as an action word, right? So verb actually conveys an action or a state of being within a sentence, right? So basically they help to describe a physical or a mental action, right? And also they link verbs to connect the subject to a subject complement, right? So basically, the basic definition is that it conveys an action in a sentence. And the next one, which is adjective. So the basic definition for an adjective is that it modifies or describes nouns, right? So it helps us to give some more information or qualities for a noun, right? So this can include things like color, size, and other descriptive terms, right? So words that describe or modify nouns are called adjectives. Similarly, we have another area which is called adverbs. So what are adverbs? Similarly, adverbs can modify verbs also with adjectives and other adverbs. So in a given sentence, an adverb can also modify or describe another adverb in a given sentence, right? So it not only modifies or describes verbs, but with that, it also modifies and describes adjectives and another other adverbs in a given sentence. So it always provides us a degree, right, of an action. So also like adjective, adverbs also enhance the meaning of a sentence by adding details and nuances, right? So basically it modifies verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. And next one, which is prepositions. So what are prepositions? By definition, we can say that prepositions indicate relationships between nouns or pronouns and other words in a given sentence, right? So In basic terms, they often convey location, time, or direction. So some of the common prepositions includes words like in, on, under, between, and across. So these all come under the category of prepositions. And another major part is conjunctions. So basically, in simple words, these are connecting words, right? So these conjunctions help us to connect words, phrases, or clauses, create logical relationships within in a sentence. And we have classification in the case of conjunctions also. These are coordinating conjunctions, words like and, but, or. These come under the category of coordinating conjunctions. And we have another one which is called subordinating conjunctions, like words such as because and although come under this category. So conjunctions are basically connecting words, right? And finally, we have interjections, right? So these are words which we use to express or convey a strong emotions, right? So in an academic point of view, interjections are not that important. We may not see questions based on interjections, but words like hooray, alas, etc. These all come under the category of interjections, right? So these are the basic parts of speech. So we need to understand what are the functions in a given sentence, right? And some general tips regarding parts of speech. So first of all, we need to understand the basic structure of a sentence, right? So every sentence has a subject, a verb, and an object, right? So this whenever you are given a sentence, look at the basic structure and try to identify. First of all, try to identify the main subject and a verb, which is the action one, right? So main verb in a given sentence. In a given sentence. And after that, it becomes much more easier to identify other parts of speech. So, and finally, practice more and more questions related to parts of speech, right? So with that, we have come to the end of today's video. I hope you had a great time watching today's video. So stay tuned for much more videos on grammar for SAT examination. Thank you, guys.